Hey everybody. It's been a long time since I have been on camera. Not a long time, a few months. I was on camera all day, every day in back-to-back Zoom meetings for 3.5 years. And quite frankly, I just needed to take a break from all of that. So I've been on uh, a fast of sorts, away from being on the camera. Now, I have participated in a few classes over the last few months, but very different. I wasn't really very engaging in those, and I thought that was really interesting considering my comfort level being on camera, but I've come to realize that I just really needed a break. But I'm mostly on here because I wanted to just kind of touch base with you all a little bit as we're leading up to this upcoming solar eclipse, right? And a lot of people have a lot of different ideas about what it's going to be. And so the best way that I can describe it is that it will be an activation. There's a lot going on in the astrological world with the celestial bodies, a lot of Aries energy, tons of fire, a little bit of water standing by, with a couple of planets that aren't typically comfortable, holding the space for water, and, a little bit of earth on the other side, so, deeply supported. So it's best to look at this solar eclipse not as a singular event, like this day and this time. Yes, in the sky there's a lot that's happening, but this is part of a larger cycle of events. You could even say, well, you definitely could say that it is absolutely connected to the eclipse in 2017. And how do we know that? Because the trajectory is crossing paths. So that's an important thing. But they're much larger cycles upon cycles. I think you have to be living under a rock right now to not see that there's a lot going on in the world. There's probably a lot going on for you personally, whether it's with your finances or your health or your relationships, any number of things. And so, the fire, the Aries energy is going to be sitting in one of your houses. I know for me, it's all in my first house, and I don't happen to have any planets there, but I'm feeling it, and I'm also feeling how completely supported I am. So, really the best way to describe it is that we are emerging into something new. We have to. And it's going to require action on everybody's part. So this isn't just something that's happening to Cindy. This isn't just something that's happening to a few other people. This is something that's impacting everyone, and they're going to be feeling it, and probably should be feeling it on some level right now. Now, the primary reason that I got on here is not really to get too much into that. I'm very much a relational person. So my relationship with astrology is just that. I am in relationship with these movements. So I feel them in my body and in my emotions and in my mind and in my spirit. And I tend to not really look that closely at the astrology unless it's so intense that I'm like, okay, something massive is going on here that probably is not just impacting me, but is impacting, lots of other people. So really want to just say that regardless of what your beliefs are and that kind of thing, there's going to be a reflection around your beliefs that's going to be reflected back to you. Everyone is going to be going through some, especially with Mercury retrograde, Everyone is going to be, asked to really take a closer look at themselves, take a closer look at their relationships. And I don't mean just to people, I mean the earth, your food, your water, the air, other sentient beings. We're pretty disconnected as a species. We're pretty disconnected from everything. We're disconnected from animals. We're disconnected from the earth. We're disconnected from our water. And this is why we don't have any idea about where any of that is coming from. But it's now reached toxic levels. So the good news is that, awareness creates change. And so this will all be facilitating that change and that activation. So again, I don't want to get too much into that because I really invite you to spend the next few days leading up to it, especially as we're going into a weekend, to really take a look at what's up for you right now. What is the thing that's right on top? What is up for you? What is happening? Is something going on with your finances, your relationships? What's happening for you? And really taking a closer look at the role that you play in those things, because it's, Aries is all about the self, right? The child. So in a lot of ways, most of us are being reborn into a new version of ourselves, and it's absolutely huge. So I always like to offer up an invitation. I'm really not one to say, you need to listen to what I'm saying. I have the absolute truth. This is the way that it is, and that's all there is. There's a lot of people on this planet that are guilty of that, and I'm not one of them. But I would like to extend an invitation for those of you that are interested in knowing how to work with it or have more awareness of it, or that kind of thing. And, my advice is to, if you have the ability, even for a little while, especially, the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So Sunday, and then Monday, the day of the eclipse, and then the day afterward, to take some time to really, sit with yourself and be in a space where, be in a space of sacredness. Indigenous cultures saw eclipses as very sacred because their entire life depended on the light and the heat of the sun, and they knew that the sun was a symbol of their creator. And so any time that sun is now being blocked, it's a time to, yes, you can make it a spectacle. That's totally fine if you feel called to do that. But the invitation is really more about going inward. That's really what it's about, especially with all this Aries energy. It's about the self. But it's catalytic, right? It's about rebirth, and that's why I've been posting so much about rebirth. So I will be actually, and I have been actually for several months since the stage of my life where I was, on Zoom all day, every day, talking to thousands of people over 3.5 years. Literally thousands of people. I've been very much in inner reflection over these last several months, taking a breather, pausing, taking a look at what I want to do next, what feels right and true for me. I'm of a certain stage in my life where for me, it's a little bit feeling like do or die. There's some things that I would like to do in my life, and so now is the time to do them. So I will be spending time continuing to be in meditation, be in quiet spaces, that type of thing, mix it in with family time as always. I'm still living my life. But the day of the eclipse, I will be in meditation, and I will be participating also in a massive group event. So for those of you that are interested, I'll be posting that if you'd like to join. Again, just as an invitation, nobody has to do anything. But if you want to make the most of what is happening, which is what it's designed for, is to really, there's a massive amount of energy that if there's something that you want to call into your life, is if there's change that you want to facilitate, that you want to have happen in the world, to direct your focus and attention toward that and visualize what you would like to see. So for me, for months now, I've been holding, a visualization of peace and joy and freedom and liberation and creativity and laughter and fun and connection and vision and inspiration, not only just for myself, to feel those things, but to be the embodiment of that. And so that leads me to what I will be doing after this eclipse is over. You'll be seeing more of me, possibly on camera, certainly out in the community. I do have my first in-person event happening in May, and I'll be giving details about that too, sometime next week. The event has already been created, but I really wanted to spend this time, not making it about, anything that I'm creating right now, and more about, being one of the people that's raising their hand and saying, hey, I'm gonna spend some of my energy and put it toward the world that I would like to see. So I would like to personally see, and I'll share this with you, I would like to personally see a world where, there's truly nutritious food that's not toxic, clean water, clean air, better relationships with the earth, less disconnect and more connection in our communities, more connection and relationship with our bodies, with ourselves, with the people we love, with the people in the world, and start seeing them as human beings again, instead of somebody to just say nasty things to because you're behind a camera and you can. Some of you are getting, quite bold, and you don't need a camera. Like, you're just going to be nasty wherever you go. Certainly my audience is not like that. I don't really have that on, in my Facebook or in my other profiles. I definitely am very clear about that, hey, let's move into a higher octave level of living. And who benefits? Everybody and everything. Like, my wish for that is for all sentient beings. That means humans. That means how we're treating animals. That's how we're treating the earth. Not taking more than we need. The depletion of resources is very real, because we hoard and we take more than we need. If we didn't get that during COVID, when everybody was buying up toilet paper, for instance, and amongst other things, that's definitely something that's evident, and really being in relationship with that. I have found that when we are in alignment with the truth of who we are, which first requires a deepening understanding and relationship of yourself and spending time there, which is selfful, not selfish, because everyone benefits. Your children benefit. Your all of your relationships, your friendships, your intimate relationships, your coworkers, everyone benefits when you have a better relationship and understanding of yourself and what your needs are internally. When you get quiet around that, you find that you spend less money, you buy more stuff, or you buy less stuff. Sorry, you buy less stuff. You consume less. I'm finding that I eat less. I'm spending less money. And I'm only getting what I need, because the nourishment I'm really getting from, just reconnecting with myself after pouring out so much energy to, like I said, thousands of people, and being encouraged to not have a better relationship with them, like 30 minutes, and that's it. I'm not all about that. And anybody that knows me really well knows that I really like to connect with you one-on-one or in small groups. I like intimacy. I like connection. And, the quality of my life is much better. So that's all I have to say about that. I will probably be posting more. I'm sure you've noticed an uptick in my posts. I'm definitely enjoying, being in the space of creativity. The flow of ideas has been coming through. It's been really wonderful. And, and I love to share. For me, being a content creator and sharing things and giving you information and giving you insights, and you don't have to do anything for me, I love that. Now I will be having some offerings and that kind of thing, but it's kind of like, if I bake a plate of chocolate chip cookies and you like chocolate chip cookies, that's what I'm offering. But if it's not your gig, that's totally fine with me. So I will be offering some things, but mostly, I'm really focused on content creation that's designed to be more uplifting, because there's so much garbage on social media right now, and I personally am spending almost no time unless it's very focused on people that are kind of in a line with the same thing. And look, it doesn't have to all be all spiritual. Y'all know I'm very spiritual. If it's truly funny, especially if it's relatable, right? Again, I'm relational. If it's relatable, there have been some things that you all have shared that have made me laugh out loud. That is, irreverent and whatever else. And that's fun, so anything that really kind of helps us connect more and ends the divisiveness. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm all done listening about politics. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care. I'm not on any side, because honestly, it's just a circus, and it's just there to distract you from the real work that needs to be done, which is kind of cleaning up the mess that we have all created. Okay, so I also want to announce this is actually my podcast, and I will be starting to have guests on here, and we're just going to be having conversations. I'm going to be asking questions, because I have questions for people. I want to know how you feel about things, how you feel about it, not your subjective opinion. I want to know how you feel inside your being about things that are really deep and meaningful. And we're going to cover a lot of things. I have a lot of people in mind that I'm really excited to be able to talk with on this podcast. There are quite a few of you that we've talked about having that happen sometime soon, and so that's happening soon as well. And I thought today was a perfect day to be able to launch it and share a video with you. So, all my love to you. If you have any questions for me, feel free to post something, on Facebook or Instagram or what have you, and I'm happy to connect with you. Take care.